at hand, which His Excellency knows very well, is that the tenure of Abure and his working committee, NWC, has ended. Effectively by the 10th of June this month.
We are all members of one family.
I give member of the family.
Well, we don't know who is aggrieved and who is not. Families disagree. Like I told you before, you do disagree with your wife. I do the same thing. So all of us disagree. These are members of the same family. That's why I came to see them. The meeting today was convened at my instance. And if you were inside that meeting, I preached only one thing, that I have come to start the work of reconciling the family.
The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, and some key stakeholders in the Labour Party like Iriti Kingibe, the senator representing FCT, were forced to intervene when LNC Transition Committee stormed the Labour Party in protest demanding that Julius Abure should go. Recall that the tenure of Julius Abure has since elapsed on 10th of June. LNC has directed that a new convention should be conducted, a convention that will be expansive or inclusive. But however, Julius Abure decided to conduct the convention based on his own conviction, and he took the convention to Nnewi without the approval of some key stakeholders in the Labour Party like Mr. Peter Obi. Peter Obi has called for an expansive convention that will start from the grassroots to the national level. Julius Abure conducted this convention that returned him and his National Working Committee members back as leader of the Labour Party. This has, however, thrown the Labour Party into some sort of crisis, with the LNC saying they do not recognize the leadership of Julius Abure. The LNC has directed its transition political wing of the Labour Party to take over the affairs of the Labour Party. So what you saw there was the transition committee of the LNC trying to picket on the Labour Party headquarters and to ensure that Julius Abure leaves. So they are going on the hard way. Recall that Julius Abure has said that Peter Obi is not in support of his chairmanship. He has gone ahead to link up with Lamidi Apapa, the same factional group of the Labour Party that tried to stop Mr. Peter Obi from challenging the election victory of Bola Ahmed Tinubu last year, 2023. Mr. Peter Obi, who has been calm in resolving the issue in the Labour Party and has not even been forced to make any comment negatively about the Labour Party, even on the press or on the social media account, was forced to intervene in the crisis in the Labour Party that rocked the Labour Party headquarters. He held meeting with the Julius Abure National Working Committee and the LNC in a way to find out a good ground in order to resolve the impasse in the Labour Party. However, Rufai Oseni is advising Mr. Peter Obi to take a walk away from the Labour Party. According to him, he said he cannot reconcile the Labour Party. He cannot save Labour Party. Labour Party is gone. Let's take a look to Rufai Oseni. I'll be back.
Unfortunately, I'll tell Mr. Peter Obi this. I'm not sure you can reconcile both parties. And I'm going to be blunt with you. The earlier you realize that, the better it is for you. And the fight is not about you. It's about chop chop. That's just it. That's what bedevils every political party. Go check the trajectory of history for political parties in Nigeria. How they split apart when interests align. Go check what led to the fractionalization of the Action Group, where the likes of Akintola pulled out of the Action Group to go set up their own party. When a party becomes successful, you start to have fragments of interest. And the fragment of interest is deeper than anything. And these fault lines of interest are not big fault lines. It's when my interest and yours align. You can now see that all of a sudden, Abure, that was fighting Lamidi Apapa before, interests have aligned today, so they have collapsed. Before, Abure and Obi were together. But today, Lamidi, and they were fighting Lamidi Apapa then. Today, Lamidi Apapa and Abure and my very good friend Arabambi They are all together today. Interests have aligned. The enemy today is Obi and NLC. That's why we officially call it Labour House of Confusion. So their interests today have aligned. And why did all this interest become this way? Because of the buzz that came to the Labour Party. And all of this is for 2027. Because since the time Obi used this Labour Party ticket to get about 6 million votes, Labour Party presidential ticket is hot cake. And it's going to be a fight to finish to whoever they'll give in 2027. Obviously, you can see it's already a fight to finish across the states. That's why you saw what even the likes of Olumide Akpata is going through in Edo states. So once a party does well, its bargaining power for tickets on that platform becomes increased. All of this is not about Nigerians. They are fighting for their interests.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Everything going on in the Labour Party is all about interest. And this interest is not of the interest of Nigerians. It's because of their own selfish political reasoning. It's because of their own personal aggrandizement. And the only reason why they are fighting is because of the money that came into Labour Party during the last election. Labour Party is now a national party. And all this was made possible by Mr. Peter Obi. What Labour Party did in the last election, nobody saw that coming. Look at what is happening in Edo State. Do you know how it was a tough fight for the governorship ticket in Edo State? This is how juicy the Labour Party ticket is. And 2027 is coming. A lot of persons will be interested to get the Labour Party ticket, including the presidential ticket. And that is a fact. So these men that you'll see that are fighting, they are fighting because they want to be the people that will be in charge of the money that will come in from all the tickets that will be sold. As a matter of fact, so many politicians will decamp to the Labour Party because Labour Party is now juicy. Having 6 million votes just 6 months into the election is not a child's play. It's a feat that no other politician in this country can do. It's a feat that no other political party in this country can do. I am not talking about a political party that merged together to win election. I am talking about a political party like Labour Party that got 5,000 votes in 2019 presidential election. Even Showore AAC got more votes than the Labour Party, and he was bragging with it, saying that P2B will not get more votes than him. This was how poor the Labour Party was before P2B took over that party. Labour Party was being used as a placeholder party. They don't even care about any presidential candidate contesting on their platform. A placeholder party is concerned more about horse trading. They will trade their position for a more serious candidate. This is all that these people care about. As long as the money coming, they don't care about winning election. Until Mr. P2B came into the Labour Party and made the Labour Party a national party. A party that has over 40 persons on the floor of the National Assembly. We are not talking about the people of the State House of Assembly and a governor. Now, to tell you how careless these people are in their reasoning, they are not thinking that the only man that made this possible is Mr. P2B. The reason why Labour Party became a national party, the reason why Labour Party became this juicy is because of Mr. P2B. People love Mr. P2B so much, they followed him everywhere he go. They supported the Labour Party because of Mr. P2B, not because of the Labour Party. Labour Party was there before. These people we are talking about are the Obedience. Even before Mr. P2B crossed carpet to the Labour Party, Obedience went on the street. They told PDP, give us Mr. P2B and we will win this election for you. If PDP has listened to the voice of these young folks that were on the street begging them to give them the party tickets to Mr. P2B, that they will win the election to them, Mr. P2B would have become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. PDP would have been in power by now. But because of their selfish reason, because of their politics of dollarization, they ignore Mr. P2B. P2B joined the Labour Party. Obedient followed Mr. P2B to the Labour Party and made the Labour Party what it is today. Before the election was even conducted, Labour Party has few or no visible physical structure in the state. Obedient donated their buildings, donated their houses, their offices to be used as Labour Party offices across the state. Even the national headquarters of the Labour Party that is being used today was donated by an Obedient loyal to Mr. P2B. So whatever horse trading, whatever permutations they are trying to do in 2027 that does not involve Mr. P2B is null and void. Labour Party will not have any say in the 2027 general election if Peter Obi is not their presidential candidate. If they like, they should hand that ticket to Atiku Abubakar. Labour Party will fail. Peter Obi is Labour Party. Peter Obi is who Labour Party is today. Many of them are bragging. People like Lamidi Abapa and Arambabi, they are bragging that Labour Party has been in existence for the past 20 years. Nobody is disputing that fact. Of course, it is not how far, but how well. You have been in existence for the past 20 years. What has been your contribution? How far have you gone? What has been your contribution on the national stage? It's all came about because of Mr. Peter Obi. Peter Obi brought out the leg of Labour Party. Nobody even knew about Labour Party. Just few persons that knew about Labour Party. Though they've won election in some states. But Labour Party do not have the traction they have now than before. Peter Obi brought all the glamour. Peter Obi brought all the history. Peter Obi brought everything that Labour Party currently has now. He brought it to them. So whatever thing they are doing without Mr. Peter Obi is akin to destroying the Labour Party. And of course, I know that these men, like Rufai said, they are politicians. Chop, chop, chop. All they care is the money. They don't care about Nigerians. They don't care about changing this country. They don't care about good governance. All they want is to be in power, to frustrate the Labour Party, use the Labour Party as a placeholder, collect money. But one thing they are failing to understand is that without Peter Obi, there will be no Labour Party. A lot of persons have said that Peter Obi should leave the Labour Party with immediate effect and go and create his own party. Let me tell you the truth, it is not easy as you think. It's really not easy. Peter Obi has invested so much in the Labour Party. Obedient, they've invested so much in the Labour Party. Like I told you earlier on, most of the offices that the Labour Party is currently occupying in all the states of the federations were donated by the Obedient. Even the Labour Party headquarters, these were all donated by the Obedient. Currently, now you have a governor who is in Labour Party, and you have another governor that is contesting election in Edo State. Go and see what Olumide Akpata has done in the Labour Party in Edo State. That man donated vehicles to the Labour Party, donated offices to the Labour Party. Currently, his campaign office is the best in this country, touch of excellence. And you think that Mr. Peter Obi should leave all that and go and create another party? Do you think creating that party will not also be filled with crisis? Of course, these are all Nigerians. Nigerians are all involved in that party. So what Mr. Peter Obi is trying to do is to ensure that he resolves the problem in Labour Party. And the sooner they realize that Mr. Peter Obi is the only one that is holding the Labour Party, the better for them. Once they realize this thing, they will listen to Mr. Peter Obi and they will adhere to all the instruction he's given to ensure that peace reigns in the Labour Party. And of course, we all know everything to them is about money. But Mr. Peter Obi has a different vision. So what he's trying to do is to use that Labour Party and drive that vision. And we hope that these issues are resolved amicably, because come 2027, we need to go into this election with full gear and full support of everyone. We don't want a divided house. We don't want a house full of commotion like Rufai Oseni said. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.